Hello, this is Jenna from Yarn Designers Boutique, and we are getting ready to dye our beautiful Christmas yarn today. We have three colors we're using. We're using the cherry red as our primary color. We're using the fire red as a contrast color, and we're using Kelly green for our Christmas green. All right, so we have prepared our water with our white vinegar, and we've started to heat up our pot. The water should be having little puddles on the yarn, and that means you've got enough water in there because some of it's going to cook off. All right, I have my first color. It is cherry red, and I'm loading up about that much. It doesn't matter. And this is the trick. This is the main color. So I am just dropping it around to get it established. You can see the colors start to change as I tap this on here. Try to just get, this is called speckle dyeing, by the way. I like it because it kind of paints the yarn when you actually start to knit or crochet with it. Okay, let's get some more. This is our main color. All right, now just trying to catch some edges and a little bit more. This is our richest color, and I'm quite happy with how this particular red. I've experimented with the different reds, and this is my favorite for our Christmas yarn. All right, I think that's about it. Shaking the dye off. I'm covering it up. If you were concerned about any fumes at all, you could be wearing a mask. They don't seem to bother me. I'm putting my spoon with my bottle because if I need more of that color, my spoon has already been contaminated with that color. The next color, which is a contrast color, is fire red. So this will give us some highs and lows to the red. Just kind of nice. And here we go. We're just trying to fill in a little bit in white spots. We're looking for white spots. A little bit in between. Tends to jump off here a little fast, so I'm trying to get smaller sprinkles, speckles. You'll notice once the colors start to set, you can kind of see where you need a bit more color as the colors pop out. To see the difference between the two reds, it's starting to show up a little bit. It's going to be pretty. And this is our Kramer yarn with the speckles. The color is called White Veil. And you can purchase these undyed yarns to dye yourself on our website, as well as all the dyes. We have all 40 of the Jacquard acid dyes is what we're using. Okay, I've got enough red on there, I think. Now, as we're putting the color on, the reason I'm showing you the specific detail is because when I have a class, my students tend to over dye. They just think it's so fun. They keep putting it on. Okay, we don't want to do that. If it's over dyed, you're wasting dye. It'll stay in the pot, and it can be too much color if you're trying to get a little bit light effect. I am trying to maintain a little bit of white on this particular dye. Now remember that we're going to be dyeing this format for 15 minutes. Then we're going to turn it over. So when we turn it over, we will get another chance to get some more dye in there. Sometimes if we've used too much on the top, we don't even want to add any on the other side. So now we're starting with our green, which actually looks like yellow. But this is Kelly green. And this is definitely our accent color. And it's going to pop out as soon as we start dropping it on there. It's going to really show up. This is a contrast. We just want that green to pop out. I'll show you the skein again once we get this laid out so you can kind of see what it does. Okay, let's just spread it out. Now, try to skip the red places and mostly do it on a new white space because the color will be clearer wherever you've dropped it on white, and it'll mix a little bit with the red if you drop it on red, which is okay. Just giving you an idea how this is going to turn out. But this, the way we're doing this applies to any colors that you're doing. This is looking fun. Okay, I think we have almost enough green. I think we have enough green. Okay, so what we're going to do now is turn the pot up a little bit between warm and 200 degrees. You don't want it to bubble hard. You want it to bubble soft, and you can see it's starting to bubble more. Okay, we're back, and we have cooked this for 15 minutes, and you can see it's very bright. You always look different later, but there's your, that's what we're trying to do. It looks pretty close to me. Now, here's where we are going to pick up each one and with our tongs and carefully bring it towards this end. Now we can see we have a lot of white in there still. So we're going to be putting more dye on this side, and I'll be showing you how much. Separate this one. I have 4 skeins in here, by the way, which with this kind of pot, you can get 4 in here. And these each have over 400 yards in them, so you can get quite a bit of yarn dyed in a pot this size. This is a turkey roaster. Got it on Amazon at half price on a Prime Day or something, where everything was on sale. Okay. Yep, they're all going to need a bit more. And we got quite a bit of green, so we're not doing any more green. Actually ended up with quite a bit of green. Beautiful. And here's our last one. We want to keep these neat and tidy the way we fold them, because you know we do have to be able to unwind these and knit with them when we're done, so we don't want a bunch of tangles. Oh, this looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of each red in some of these white areas. I'm kind of spreading it apart to look and see the depth of, you know, I still want white to show, because white is a Christmas color that comes along with red and green. Okay, so now we'll start with our main color, which is the cherry red. When I start rinsing and washing the yarn, I put gloves on, but during this phase, I seem to be pretty lucky. So I'm doing a couple little things of the dark red. This is the richest red. It's very nice. A bit more. If you have any extra on the spoon, just shake it back in the bottle. As long as it hasn't gotten wet, these dyes last a long time. Okay, shaking that back in the jar. Covering it up, and we should be done with that. Now we'll go to the fire red, which is the brighter red. Just cover up more of the white. Not a lot, just enough. When you have 2 shades of a color, you generally put them next to the color, the other color. Like 2 reds, you kind of put them next to it. Not on top of it necessarily. It gives you more of a color range when it's all done. Okay, so that's touched up our missing places. We have plenty of water, so I don't need to add any more water. And we will cook this for 15 minutes. Turn the heat back up. Okay, we are cooked. I have turned the heater off completely. I'm going to let this cool down before I try to rinse it, just because it's hot, hard to handle. But as you can see, whoops, there are some whites in each of these. And that's what I wanted. If you don't want any whites, then you would be working towards that. There's just a tiny bit of color in the water. I always look for that, because I don't want to waste dye, and it tells me that I got close to the same amount of dye in there. Okay, after this, all we'll have is a few pictures of the final drawing and the skeins. No more videos. Thank you very much for participating, and I hope that you will join us dyeing yarn. It's really fun.